You're in for a real treat.
Hang on to them hats and glasses, 'cause this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Hey Disney fans, come join the fun. Corey and Lawrence, the magic's begun. From the parks to the stories we adore, let's dive into the magic. There's so much more. It's the DIZPod, where dreams come true. With Corey and Lawrence, we'll explore with you. We entertain and teach every step of the way. With stories and facts, we brighten your day. From Disney history to tips and tricks, we've got the magic mix that always clicks. It's the DIZPod, where dreams come true. With Corey and Lawrence, we'll explore with you. Feel the magic, the joy and the cheer. Together we'll make memories year after year. The DIZPod, the DIZPod, let's all sing along. With Corey and Lawrence, the magic's never gone. Bringing joy to your day in every way. In the DIZPod, where the magic's here to stay.
You are now listening to a member of the Disney Podcast family. Head over to Disney Podcast Family on Instagram to see all the latest posts for this show and links to other great Disney podcasts.
Cats, the #1 family musical in America. Cats, the world's most thrilling theatrical event. Cats, the magic, the mystery, the memory will live forever. Cats, the 7-time Tony Award winner, the once-in-a-lifetime experience, the most exciting family musical. In a word, Cats at the Winter Garden Theater. Call Telecharge 212-239-6200.
So don't try and call that number. That phone number probably doesn't exist anymore.
It'd be funny to know if it exists, though. It might. That box office is still there. Is it? Do you know? I mean, I feel like I remember that commercial from way back when.
I mean, you know, that was how big was that show? So yeah, that was. I just figured I would throw that on there for you for April Fool's Day.
Is Cats is not playing anymore, right? Or is it?
No, it came back. It came back for a little bit, and then I think it went away again. Allison could probably tell us the day it closed, the day it opened.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But no, was it 2017 or something like that? It came back for a short run.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello and welcome everyone as we approach 100 episodes coming up soon. I totally lost where we're at. Maybe we're at episode number 90, maybe. I'm going to say 90.
I think we're at 91.
Oh. Okay, 91. And we are, it's the telecharge number, she said. It might exist.
Yes. Actually, so Ticketmaster, right, and telecharge, and I think there was one more too. So Ticketmaster obviously is kind of just taken over, right? Well, earlier, I was looking at something on Facebook, and it was telecharge. Like, they still exist, and it was for some show. It was like a bubble show. It was weird, but yeah, it was an off-Broadway show, and it said telecharge. I was like, oh, okay, it's still around.
How about that? Hey, we're live right now, everyone. We do this live because we do it for you. Welcome, everyone who we see in chat. We see all of your comments and all of your questions. And as a matter of fact, I see more of what goes on right here than I actually do in the parks. We just don't acknowledge you all as much because you're watching the taping of a live show. So it's a different concept, just so you all know that. But we see everything there, and now and then we'll pull something out of the chat to point out. Jen W says, you got to start putting the episode number in your descriptions. It's true. I think a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk to the man in charge on that.
Some of them put them in the title. That I won't do.
Yeah,
I won't put them in the title.
Now, why won't you?
Because there's only so many characters. And those are valuable characters because you only have so many chances to catch somebody's eye. And saying season 3, episode 91 is not going to catch somebody's eye. But breaking Disney news, or the most elaborate, whatever I called this one, the most elaborate breaking news ever, something like that, would catch somebody's eye.
For sure. And we also value everyone who listens to us at any time of the day or night after this on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Prime. Prime Days are coming up. I don't know when that is, but I saw in the news that they're extending Prime Days, non-sponsored, like for 4 days. So make sure you feed your Amazon addiction like I have. And, it's just nice to see something. It's nice to see Santa in his dark gray and light blue uniform arrive in his big steel gray sleigh every day and deliver gifts to your doorknob.
Laura said she said we are boring and she's unsubscribing.
We never liked you, Laura. So there. April Fools. Did you get any April Fools today? I did not get any April Fools. Apparently, anybody, anyone in the elderly range.
No, I didn't.
When I was at school, that's all I dealt with today.
Yeah, when we were in school, I used to get a lot in school, and maybe a little bit in work back in the day, but not so much now. Although Walt Disney World and Adults Only did post today that you can, because the new Tiger is so what's the word? We'll just say exciting. That Disney announced that you will now be able to pet a tiger.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
How about that?
I might have to take advantage of that because I never thought I would touch a tiger or a rhino because you can do that too.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You can do that.
Yes. Grandma Grover's watching from Pop Century. She said it's a beautiful day in Florida. We just had a little shower. That water was cold. When I got out of the car tonight to come into the house, it was freezing cold rain on my back. Kind of weird. It caught me by surprise.
No, we didn't have any rain, but I do have to use my windshield wipers for the pollen here.
Oh, it's crazy. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I will. I ditched my Allegra D. It's just too strong. And so I've been in transition. I should have had a backup ready to go, but I was like, let me see how it goes. Man, did allergies come raging in, just raging. And, definitely sound a little nasally, but I've been trying to flush my sinuses out. So that does that. So that's where we are with that. So thought it might have been a sinus infection, but it might be. I don't know. I don't know yet. You know how you don't know? Like it hasn't gotten worse. Like today at this time yesterday, I'm not as bad as I was. I'm the same as I was yesterday. It didn't progress. Overnight was tough, but that's it. So I don't know. But I've got medication ready to go. We'll be overcautious.
Okay.
I want to be ready for Saturday for sure.
Yes.
I don't want to get this stuff that everybody's been getting, like Michelle and Shirley and all that stuff. I've remained very healthy this year. So we want to stay that way.
Yep.
So, all right. What's up?
All right, so we're going to get right to the news because we don't have a lot of time to waste, and I actually have video clips this time. So we'll start with
Step it up in the world.
Yes, I mean for breaking news, you got to do that. So first bit of breaking news that I found is another ride refurbishment that was not talked about at D23. Maybe they'll announce it at this upcoming D23, but we have this for breaking news.
The Tower of Terror is being rethemed to a Frozen ride. The new ride will be named Frozen Freefall, and here are all the details we know so far. On this new ride, guests will visit Arendelle for Queen Elsa's coronation, however, that's when things go wrong. In the pre-show, you learn that there's an evil spirit trying to prevent Elsa from being coronated as the queen. It's up to you, with the help of Anna and Olaf, to defeat the evil spirit in time for the coronation. You will then board the elevators, which will look like sleds. It will bring guests up a level where they see the evil spirits making their plot to foil a coronation. Then you enter what is currently the 5th dimension, where you'll see spirits attacking Elsa as she gets ready for the event. Finally, guests enter the main elevator shaft, where the spirits have found you, Anna and Olaf, and have directed their focus on destroying you. This is when your sled drops and rises rapidly, much like the Tower of Terror now. This new ride will include a variety of scenes and will operate more like Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, where you watch the screens as you drop and rise.
All right, so what do you think about that one?
You know, when I heard that news, I was like, wow, okay, now that is different. That certainly came out of left field. You know, I've always wanted to do Mission Breakout. Tower of Terror is certainly a classic, but I think this one has more to offer. More of an adventure.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not to downplay Tower of Terror. It's the theming is unbelievable. But you know, once you're on, I mean, right? Am I right or wrong? Once you're on the vehicle and you're once you start dropping and rising and dropping, that's all you're doing. You're rising and dropping.
Yep.
There's a thrill of that. There's no like stoppages of story or characters to view or an adventure at that point.
Right.
So I'm excited for this. I think it's going to bring a lot more to that end of Hollywood studios. I think you're going to see Sunset Boulevard backed up, you know, all the way down to Carthay Circle maybe or more, and it's going to be a huge hit. This will overshadow Monsters Land for sure.
Well, and then think about it. You got Rock and Roller Coasters, soon to be Muppets Mayhem, right there next to it. So it does start to become a little more of a kiddie area. You know, we'll see. But those are two big thrill rides for kids. So I don't know. This should be interesting. I'm waiting until D23 to hear more about this.
Yeah, and you got to imagine they're probably going to slow it down a little bit, the drops, because and I think the height limit is going down just enough so that it could be for all ages.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, so this other bit of news gonna affect the channel actually, because we stream on Wednesday nights, and Wednesday is about to change a lot.
Breaking news, the NFL announces Wednesday Night Football in 2025. These games will be broadcast exclusively on Disney+. On top of that, all the games will be played on a neutral field at Disney World. This agreement is a win for both the NFL and Disney. The NFL will increase viewership by adding another night of football on Wednesdays. Meanwhile, Disney wins by having the games played at Disney World and exclusive rights to broadcast them on Disney+. According to an internal source, Disney struggles to reach NFL fans. With this expansion of Wednesday Night Football, they expect to see a massive increase in Disney Plus subscribers. Also, there will be 2 broadcasts, the normal game and an animated game. This will be similar to the Toy Story animated game from last year, except each week it will be different. Disney will roll out Heroes vs. Villains, Pixar vs. Disney, and much more. Meanwhile, Lin-Manuel Miranda will write the new theme song for Wednesday Night Football. However, NFL players are not happy with this announcement because it's one less day of rest.
Well, there's a lot to unpack with that one. You know, first of all, what matters most is the night that we stream. So I guess we'll have to sidestep that and probably do Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I thought initially. Thursdays this coming September. And oh boy, there's a lot to that. Did you ever see any of the Disney Plus renditions of the NFL games?
I did. I saw the Toy Story one. Yep.
And then they followed that up with another one. I'm trying to remember what it was. I can't remember now.
Main Street? I think they were on Main Street. I think it was all the characters on Main Street.
Or was it SpongeBob? There was another one done. Might have been it might or Simpsons. I think it was Simpsons.
Okay.
They did the Simpsons. Yeah. So those are really cute. Those are really cute. So yeah, give us more of those. I kind of like to I like to watch that while watching the real life game too. So that's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. It's pretty accurate. It's kind of crazy how that technology works. So there's that. Hey, Disney gets more NFL coming to Disney World. I think that increases the amount of people coming.
Yep.
And the stadium will certainly sell out. They're not NFL sized stadiums over there. So it'll be an intimate crowd. That's a plus for the audience. Lots of pluses there. Maybe you'll see some players walking around Magic Kingdom maybe the day before. Get a little Disney in. We know they like to do that. I've seen players before running around in the parks, which is a lot of fun during Pro Bowl weekend. So what is the other thing on that? Disney Plus. Yes, it's a win-win for Disney. I mean, their subscribership will go up by millions.
Absolutely.
This is an amazing deal by Disney NFL. And this is the way the NFL has been going. It's been going by the way of separate packages, which people hate too, because you have to buy all these packages.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily I have Prime, so I can watch the NFL on Thursdays. And other than that, I have the Sunday ticket, so I can see all the games on Sunday. And then Sunday night is, of course, NBC. But there was another one too. Like NBC took something. What's NBC's? Peacock. I think there was a game on Peacock once.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that. I wasn't going to subscribe to Peacock for one game.
Apple has some MLB games.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Now, when they do that, do they take the package? Can you not watch that on the package? So if you've got Mets White Sox,
no, you have to have Apple.
It's not available on MLB innings. Okay. Yeah. And I do have Apple. I do have Apple too. Oh gosh, we have so many subscriptions. You can't even keep you try to save by streaming, and then it just all don't add it up, people. Don't add it up.
No. I will say something about those stories do seem odd though, like for Disney not to have announced them already and for us to get them as breaking news. I tell you what, let's bring in somebody that might help clear up some of that information there. Folks in chat, please welcome our guest for the evening, the founder of Mousetrap News. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Let's see if I have one muted.
Welcome.
Oh, I think he muted himself. All right, we'll wait for him to come in. So yes, obviously it's April Fool's Day, and we decided to hit you with a little bit of Mousetrap News, which I love. I love seeing people go crazy online when they see Mousetrap News.
Yeah, so we had some fun with all of you. Neither of those stories are true, but I do wish the NFL story was true. That's a good one.
Because you want Lin-Manuel Miranda to write the theme song?
Oh, that's right. You didn't touch on that part. Now, he better be better at that than he was at the Mufasa soundtrack. That's all I'm saying.
Let's see. Hold on. I think
maybe they could get the duo that wrote the Snow White soundtrack to do the NFL one. We'll see.
I think I have to put them on screen, but not. Good. I got to try and do something, Corey. Sorry.
All right. So, what'd y'all think of that fake news right there? He says we are unmuted on our end. Says
yeah, I think I know what's wrong.
Think you know what you got to do?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, no.
Yeah, there it is. I was trying to do it without having the black background there, but that's okay. For anonymity, we're going to use his logo on screen. So thank you for being here tonight. I always get a kick out of the stories that you come up with. Tell me a little bit about how you came up with this idea.
Yeah, thanks for having us. So, Mousetrap News really just kind of started on a whim. It was we were I'm the founder of it, but I was in church, and I'll refer to the company as we. A lot of times it's just natural, so that'll happen. But anyways, so I was in church, and sometimes your mind starts to wander, which it shouldn't, but it does. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to have a satire fake Disney news website for no real reason. It was just like one of those random things that popped into my head. I'm like, that's interesting. So either that day or like the next day, I went out and actually in that process, I was like, Mousetrap News would be a great name for it. Get people in the mousetrap, and it actually worked out well because a lot of people, will comment like, "Oh, you got caught in the mousetrap," like when they fall for it.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't even think that was like intentional. Maybe it was at the time because this was years ago when I thought of it, but it worked out perfectly. So it's funny to see that. But yeah, it was like, it'd be kind of fun to have a fake Disney news site, and like I said, just started got the URL, created the website, and just started writing articles. And the first couple of articles I created an image for and just posted on Facebook and Instagram, and it didn't really do too much. But then I decided to make a video for TikTok. At the time, it was like 15-second videos, and they like the first one. I think the first one I did was it was with Tower of Terror, I want to say. I don't remember exactly what the story was, but it was like the first time I had made a video, and it got like almost 1 million views, if not more than 1 million views on TikTok. I think it did pretty well on Instagram, and I'm like, oh, geez, there might be something to this. And then, it just kind of kept going from there. It was, just think of ideas, make a story about it, and post it and see what happens. And that's kind of how it's been going for the past, I think it'll be 3 years in July now, if I'm doing my math correctly. So it's been a time, but it's been fun. And sometimes I'm like, am I going to have an idea to write about? And there's always something, but some days are better than others.
So how often do you try and put out a story?
The goal is a story every day, but that's just not feasible. So just because there's only so much that you can write about, and just so much time in the day. So typically it's try to do every other day or a little bit better if possible. Usually aim to have like 5-ish stories a week is kind of the goal, but it's really just depends on what's going on, what kind of ideas we have, and try and put as much out as we can without burning ourselves out.
One of the ones that I found that people, because I'm in a lot of Facebook Disney groups, and one that people always seem to bring up is Disney's going to be weighing people as they enter the park for balancing of the rides. Like, how do people fall for it?
Yeah, that one. So the reason that one started was because I saw a video of a roller coaster at I believe the amusement park was Carowinds, I think is how you pronounce it, and it was like the roller coaster like track broke. Like you could see a video, and the track was like actually broken, like the support beam, not the track itself. The support beam was broken, and I'm like, oh man, what wouldn't it be funny if it broke because people on the ride weighed too much? So how about Disney puts weight limits on rides so this doesn't happen with their roller coasters or their rides because there's so much wear and tear. And obviously absurd that Disney would be weighing people when they get in line or when they're about to get on the ride. Like that would be insane. But in this business, things that are insane is what captures people's attention, because they're either like, whoa, look at this crazy thing, or whoa, there's no way that this is real, or whatever. Like you got to get people talking. And so the more insane you can make things while also somewhat grounded in reality, typically is what works the best for us. So in that case, a lot of people are like, this is crazy, I'm never going there again, or there's no way this is real, and it just creates discussion. And then people are like, is this really real? Like, what's going on at Disney? Why are they doing this? I'm never giving them my money, and just stuff like that. And it's just really funny to see, because it's like, could this happen? Technically, yes, it could, but is it likely? Not.
Right.
I don't think so. Like, if I saw that, I'd be like, what the heck? There's no way this is real. But, that's the world.
One of your recent ones, I think it was recent, was Casey's is being replaced by Hooters.
Yeah. That one, I honestly thought that one was going to do better. Like, it didn't do bad, but I thought that had like viral potential. I guess every article I put out, I hope that it goes viral. But in that case, I'm like, I mean, this is just so unlike Disney, but also could be feasible. Like, it could be possible, and just like the absurdness of it, I thought it get shared around a lot more. And it still did fine, but it was one of those ones I'm like, I really hope that this one goes viral, because people are like, haha, Hooters coming to Disney. But alas, there's not a Hooters coming to Disney anytime soon.
No.
But, maybe.
Funny enough, they just filed for bankruptcy today.
Did they really?
They did.
Because they're not at Disney. That's their problem.
That's right. That's right. Corey would appreciate this one if this was real. The influencer only line.
Yeah, I mean, that one, it's like, well, there's all these influencers walking around Disney.
That needs to be real.
Yeah, and that one specifically, a lot of people. Well, there's two things. A lot of people like the Disney influencers, so it'd be cool if they could skip the line and then they could see them ride their rides more instead of standing in line. Then there's also a lot of people who don't like Disney influencers and wish that they weren't in the parks, because I've seen enough Reddit threads where it's like, oh, these Disney influencers, and then they're going off, and I'm like, all right, let's try and irritate people where the influencers get to skip all the lines. And I was hoping that more people would be irritated by that. But yeah, honestly, if it gave us a free fast pass in every line, I wouldn't complain.
No. No. And so, does it surprise you that people get stuck in the trap?
Sorry, can you repeat that? I cut out for a second.
Yeah. Does it surprise you that people get stuck in the mousetrap?
No, not at all. It surprises us that to this day it still happens, I guess. But at least for a while, not really. And I guess even still to this day, not that much, just because, well, I think there's a couple of reasons. One, the stories, a lot of them could be real. Or they might be a little bit of a stretch, but like there's definitely, like, it's grounded in some reality, so people could believe it. But then two, people just don't think, and I mean that in the best way. Like, they'll see an article or they'll see a story and they'll be like, oh wow, this is insane, and then they just like send it on without stopping for a second to think about it. Because in this world, you're constantly scrolling through stuff, so it's like you see one thing, it catches your eye, and most people don't stop to think, like, is this real? Is this true? Like, I've seen enough videos where I'm like, that was crazy, and then I'm like, wait, is that real? There's no way that's real. And I'm the person who'll like investigate to see if things are real. But in this world of like constant simulation, like, people aren't taking the time to check to see if something's real. Certain people will, but a lot of people are like, well, see this crazy news, and then they just share it with their friends or comment on it before really thinking about it. So
that's right.
I think that's just kind of how humans are, like just how we act now. It's, there's not time to pause and think, because there's, another video that's one swipe away. So it's, you see it, you get hooked on it, and then you don't think about it and just share it, and then you move on. And so, yeah, I think it's, when we're putting out story after story that's not true, like, people do eventually pick up on it, but if you're not paying that close of attention and you don't know Disney super well, like, you might just assume that it's true when you come across it.
Yeah, like, you have a story about world's largest Buc-ee's coming to Disney World, and it was shared, at least on Instagram, 54,000 times.
Yeah, absolutely insane. And, it's just one of those things where Buc-ee's just continues to be popular, and, why wouldn't they be? Like, why would they not have the world's largest Buc-ee's at Disney World? Like, it's a huge tourist destination. Buc-ee's is a huge tourist destination. So you're combining two massive forces into one. So, like, the basis of the story actually kind of makes sense. And it, I guess, does, it does seem believable. But, and then in the article or in the story, we'll throw in stuff that's just like, oh, and then they're going to have theme park rides at this Buc-ee's, as if a Buc-ee's has ever had theme park rides before.
Right.
But, again, it's something that could be feasible. So that's, I guess, how you get to that point of, a ton of people sharing it.
Yeah. Yeah, the one where it snowed in Magic Kingdom. Multiple inches of snow falls at Disney World in Florida. Shared 33,000 times.
Yeah, that one really took off fast too. And that was like right when Florida was getting this snow like in the Panhandle. And
Mm-hmm.
so people aren't thinking like, oh wow, did they really get snow in Orlando? They see it and they're like, Disney got snow, like this is crazy. And I just use videos from Disneyland Paris because they've gotten snow there before,
Exactly.
and AI of course. But yeah, it's one of those things where you hear that Florida got snow, and if you don't really think about it, you're like, oh man, look at all this snow that Disney World got. This is crazy, and
Yeah.
it would be sweet if it happened, and maybe one day it will, but for now, it has not happened.
So what's one or a couple of your favorite stories that you've done?
Yeah, I mean, by default, it's probably Cinderella Castle Burns to the Ground. I mean, that one's just unstoppable for us. It's one of our pin videos on TikTok because it got 28 million views. That's like our best performing video ever.
Wow.
And 250,000 shares alone. So that one was crazy. Like we would go on our notifications, like on TikTok, and once you hit like 90, like more than 99 followers in your notifications, it'll say like 99 plus. Like we would click that and go out of it, and within seconds it would shoot back up to 99 plus. Like we were getting like hundreds of followers like every couple of seconds. It was insane because it just took off and got so many views in such a short amount of time. So by default, that one's probably our favorite. But there's two other ones that are kind of unique. That I mean, they got a fair amount of views, but just like have cool stories behind them. So one of them was the Magic Kingdom maternity ward, where you can have your child inside the Magic Kingdom, like give birth to your child inside the Magic Kingdom, and have a view of Cinderella Castle. And that was funny because I actually got a text from a friend, and they're like, "Was this you?" And it was a Saturday Night Live weekend update clip, and in it I think it was Michael Che. He had a quick bit about giving birth at the Magic Kingdom and the new Magic Kingdom maternity ward. So my article actually made SNL, which was insane. I mean, I don't watch the show. I'm sleeping at that time. But I got the text and I'm like, no way they talked about it on SNL. So that was crazy. And then in that same kind of area, we did, it was Disney files for a patent for a roller coaster that jumps the track. And we actually used a universal patent for the Donkey Kong ride and kind of tweaked it a little bit, and then found some random videos from like a roller coaster video game where cars were like jumping the track, and made it a whole story. And then during the day, so sorry, I'll back up a little bit. So what happened is there's like a Fox Chicago or something reported on it as like a real story, and it quickly spread from there. So there's like a Barstool story on it, and there was like Barstool Sports had a story on it, and a bunch of Instagram pages, like big ones, like Nuggets got like, I don't know, 12 million followers or something on Instagram, maybe more. Like they picked it up, like a ton of pages were picking this up as like a real story, all made up, of course. And then during the day, someone sent me a picture, like a screenshot of a Jimmy Fallon tweet about the roller coaster that jumps the track, and I don't remember what the tweet said. Like, that is crazy that Jimmy Fallon tweeted it. Well, later that night on The Tonight Show, Jimmy Fallon did like a 45-second bit on a roller coaster that jumps the track at Disney, and it takes a clip from the Fox station that originally broadcasted it.
Yeah.
It was funny because in the corner on one of the pictures, it had mousetrapnews.com or actually it had that as like the source. It said source mousetrapnews.com on this like legit news station in Chicago. And then it was on Jimmy Fallon, and he did like I said, 45 seconds on this roller coaster that jumps the track, and he made a bunch of jokes on it. And it was just like insane that some article that we just wrote randomly ended up on Jimmy Fallon one night, and we had nothing to do with it. It just spiraled out of control because one person thought it was real, didn't fact check it, and it got on like legit news, like a legit news station, and it just kind of went from there. So yeah, absolutely crazy that happened.
Yeah, it's funny. I write for one of the Disney news sites now, and there are certain sites that we say, okay, if they report on it, then dig in, and this is probably real. And there's a few that we go, not including yours, because the whole news team knows, the idea of mousetrap news. But there's a few others that were like, yeah, just put those off to the side. We'll wait for real confirmation because they don't they don't count. They're not a trusted news source. But so many people will put out, they'll share it, and it's so easy to share. And like you said, you're just scrolling, and you're not even going to watch the whole thing. Because if they did, at the very end of your videos, you always say, for more on this, go to mousetrapnews.com. All right, well, then you would learn all the stories there are, satirical. But
Right,
they don't
yeah,
bother to read.
We don't. I mean, some people will get mad at us because they'll be like, "Oh, well, you don't tell us that it's fake news or satire or whatever the case is. Like, you don't say that in the video. Like, it's deceptive." Which, yeah, they're not wrong, but also in our bio it says, fake or real news that's 100% made up or something like that, and then on the website at the end of every article it says that it's fake. On our about page it says that it's fake news. Like, yeah, we're not going to start out a video with, by the way, this is fake news, but here's what happened. But so, yeah, we hide it a little bit, but it's published in enough places where if you do any research, you'll be able to tell that it's fake. But a lot of people just don't do that research because they see it as a funny, crazy video on social media and just share it. And you even see it with those AI videos and photos that are taking over. Like with younger people, typically they're like, like, whoa, is this real? Like, obviously joking, but there are plenty of old people who will see like a photo of some person who's like 140 blowing out birthday candles, and it's like, it's my 140th birthday, wish me a happy birthday, and then all these people saying happy birthday. I'm like, do you not realize that this is 100% fake? This person is not 140, and it's clearly not real. But it's just in the world of the internet, it's just so hard to parse through what's real and what's not, especially with like deep fakes and all that stuff, AI. Like, it's only getting harder to tell what is real and what is fake. So we're in for a real treat in the next couple of years as AI continues to enhance, and determining what is like real and not is going to just get even harder.
You're right. It's really getting there now. It's like you watch something, you're like, I'm not really sure if that's real or not. So yeah, it's going to be a real challenge, a real problem for celebrities too, and things like that, to try to prove and disprove, stories made of them. Has Disney ever reached out to you because of any particular story? Like, hey, we're not so happy with this, or did they just kind of understand what you're all about?
Yeah, so they have not reached out to us. We're not sure if that day is ever going to come. It's
well, you burned the castle down, so they probably won't bother.
Well, yeah. So I've talked to people about that, and I'm like, I wonder how high up in Disney they're aware of what we're doing, because there's no way that like their PR department isn't aware, and there's got to be people who are like high up in the company that are like getting this stuff, like getting some of this stuff fed to them, or they're saying, hey, did you see this story? Whatever. Like, they're it's just like, does Bob Iger know about us? I don't know. Maybe he's potentially seen some of this stuff. Like, how high up in Disney does it go? Is what I've wondered before. But yeah, I mean, they have to be aware. There's no way that they're not aware of me. And I mean, we haven't heard anything since, or well, not since, ever. And hoping, that we don't. I mean, it is a satire parody website. Those have been upheld in courts many, many times, because it's a form of free speech, is protected. So there's not really a court case to be made. So like, they could say, hey, we don't like what you're doing. And I could be like, okay, well, it's legal. So, but the fact that they haven't reached out yet after, 500 some thousand followers across 2 platforms over 3 years and hundreds of millions of views, I don't, think that we'll hear from them anytime in the near future. But you never know. And if they do, then I'm going to be freaking out. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, so far nothing from really anyone in the Walt Disney Company.
Yeah, and your whole thing is what it is, and it is covered by, hey, we're just doing satire here. So I'm sure that they they're aware of it, and they kind of leave you alone for that kind of thing. But some of these more less reputable, air quotes, news outlets who just regurgitate news have been told to take stories down and have ticked Disney off. I have somebody that is at a certain level in Disney, and we've chatted before in her home, and we've talked about social media and things like that. So they know about all of us. They watch all of us. I'm sure Disney is subscribed to all these accounts, which is just even why even in the parks when you live stream like we do. If I have a concern or something I want to push for, I always say it. I have a talk with them. I pull Disney aside. I go, listen, Disney, here we go. We got to talk about this. And then we just say things. And sometimes they happen. Sometimes they don't. I'm not saying we have even a 0.0001 influence on it, but we say things. And then when they happen, I go back to my friend in Disney. I go, was that me? She goes, no, it wasn't you. But maybe she's lying. Maybe she's lying. Because remember this? Remember I told you that, Lawrence, when we hit COVID, Disney was using a system that was frustrating for fast passes when they still existed, because you could get 3 fast passes, but it wouldn't let you see what was available if you had 3. So you'd have to let one go to see if something else was there. You know what I mean? So if you had all the mountains in Magic Kingdom, but you were like, man, I really wish I want to go on Peter Pan, but I'd like to just see if it's available. Let Space Mountain go, and I'll check. You could let Space Mountain go, look and see if Peter Pan's there or not. And if it's not, you can't go back and get that Space Mountain if somebody grabs it. So I said to her, why don't you, so they were using an old system, and I was like, why don't you change that? You got to change that so that we can see things without letting things go. So anyway, that did change. That's her department. That did change. Now you can look at, it's not Fast Pass, but park passes, right? You can have all your park passes now, but you can still look and see if something else is available. Yeah, they changed that.
Well, and honestly, I think Disney should actually be thanking us for the hard work that we do. Because we're giving them we're putting out all these ideas, and it's basically like free market research. They see how people react, and then if people are all for it, then Disney can be like, hey, look, all these people like this idea. Or if they hate it, they're like, no, we don't want to do this. So I mean, honestly, if Disney wants to send us a lifetime pass, they can do that. We won't stop them. But yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I think, yeah, back to what you said. Like they are, I'm sure, aware of us. They haven't said anything to us. Haven't asked us to take any articles down. The only company that did reach out to us was because we used a photo of theirs in a video, not realizing that it was a copyright trademark image. So take down the video, which blew because it had like 9 million views at the time. But we reposted the video a little bit later with a AI generated image of what we were using to get the point across, but not infringe. So that was really the only only bump in the road that we had, and it was pretty minor. So yeah, just hoping that Disney appreciates us for what we do, even though they may probably don't. But we will continue to do it because it's fun, and it's what we do.
Yeah, Disney just, the point I was getting to is what you kind of you said too, is my friend had told me, she's like, this was like 3 years ago, I think, at the time, and she said, oh, we've invested even more in social media. We want more of you. We love what you all are doing. So yeah, they love it. It's free advertising. It's free. They get to sit back and just have all of us work hard to show merch and spend money in the restaurants and do food reviews and buy the merch and all that stuff. So, man, what a company, huh?
So,
yeah, well,
I was going to ask, how often do you go down to the parks?
Yeah, not super frequently. Once, maybe twice a year. It's just hard to get out there. The funny thing is, every time we go, it's like, all right, is the Magic Band going to work this time, or is it going to scan in and security is going to stop by and pay us to visit? And you just never know. I mean, we assume that they're not going to, but with them, anything's possible. Who knows? how high up in the FBI they're working to uncover dirt and ban us. But no, we like to go once, maybe twice a year, get out there. It helps for getting new videos, more footage, photos, even inspiration for articles and stuff like that. But don't live within driving distance, so it's not something that we can go to every single week. That's the dream, but not the reality.
So when you scan in, your magic band turns green. You're like, yeah.
Honestly, the first time of every trip, yeah, 100%. Because I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. I assume that we'll be okay, but you just never know.
Yeah, you don't want it to turn red in here. Burp, burp, burp.
Right.
Sharon Hecker in chat says, I've heard they're putting headrests on Peter Pan ride just for Corey. We should lobby for that for sure, because I hit my head all the time.
I thought when they refurbished it, that's what they were doing, but nope.
Hopefully, they should just put some soft padding and just blend it with the paint of the sails of that thing for sure. Hey, Lawrence, did you know, according to Mousetrap News, that clothing optional is coming to Disney World?
Oh boy,
that's going to give a new meaning to after hours, is what I'm saying. It's the after hours. Starts at 1 a.m.
That's the way to go. Yeah, I mean that article specifically, we did. Women can now go topless at Disney, and that one just blew up, as you'd expect. I mean, there are a ton of people who are like, "I'm going to Disney now." All guys, of course. But, so we're like, well, that one did well. So what's one step further than topless? Well, how about clothing optional? So yeah, I mean that's where that came from. Especially in a place made for families, a bit controversial, but whatever makes the magic happen, I guess.
After hours.
Or mandatory
Typhoon
tipping.
Lagoon.
Mandatory tipping on all rides.
Yeah, that one was crazy because that had a huge Reddit thread on it where it's like Google AI is going to be the death of us or whatever. Because when the article came out not long after, if you searched like, do I have to tip on Disney rides? Google AI was like, yes, mandatory. Like it's mandatory to tip on Disney rides, because it was just sourcing information from my website. It was the only source on that at the time. So a ton of people were falling for it. And Disney even has like those what are they called? Like the Disney park blogs or the Disney panel blogs, like whatever they are, where people ask questions and then they'll have like panelists answer them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that they're actually Disney employees, but they do answer on behalf of Disney, however that works. But we'll see plenty of our articles end up in those blogs where it's like, do you have to tip on Disneyland rides? That was one of them that came up not that long ago. And then they'll be like, no, that's just an article that was made up online. It's like, what's in the response? And then they go on. And actually, I believe the weight limit one also had a few answers on that too, on the same website. It's like, oh, is Disney really going to weigh us before riding the rides? So it's always funny to see our articles pop up on like the Disney panelist blogs, whatever they're called.
Headline: Mickey Mouse kicked a toddler inside Disneyland, and you got Mickey extending his foot way out, and the kid's just flying across Main Street.
I mean,
that's a good one.
Don't get in the way. The mouse
exactly, kid. You had your moment with Mickey.
Right. You always see the kids chasing the characters, but you never see the characters chasing the kids.
Right. That does bring a flashback to me. The very first time I ever stepped foot in Disney World, went to Hollywood Studios, and this kid Vader was trying to do meet and greets over at Star Tours, and the kid kept coming over, like teasing him, rah, rah, running away. For all I know, he was pulling on his cape and running away. Vader actually had enough at that point, and he turned around and he walked so fast towards that kid. That kid disappeared quick around the corner. Good stuff.
I love it. There's some really fun ones. So if you do not follow Mousetrap News, excuse me, you're on Instagram and TikTok, right?
Yeah, Instagram and TikTok are the main ones. We are technically on X, and we got like 400 followers, and Facebook we've got like 400 follows or likes or whatever too. So we are on those too. We don't post as frequently because we don't get as much reach, but yeah, TikTok and Instagram are the main ones where we post videos as frequently as we have them.
Yeah, make sure to follow them. If for nothing else, so that you know when somebody posts something on Facebook that says, "Hey, there's $1 million ticket that you can buy to Disney World now." At least you know where it came from.
Right. Or if you
Yeah.
want to, share it with your friends and tell them all the good news before they hear from someone else. Confuse your friends first.
That's right. There was one. Epcot was going to be an adult-only park, and that one I was like, I could go for that. Finley, my daughter, would be very upset because that's her favorite park, but it might be something to have it as an adult-only park.
What's really funny about that is no more than 2-3 days later they announced that new adult-only lounge in Spaceship Earth, and I'm like, what are the odds we do adult-only Epcot, and then 3 days later they've got this adult-only lounge? Obviously, I'm not going to pretend like we predicted the future on that one, but it was very ironic that article came out just a couple of days later from Disney. But adult-only Epcot or adult-only days at Disney, people like that stuff. So even if it's like a limited, they'd probably get a lot of heat for it, but even if they did it after hours adult only or something like that. But did they do that? Does Disney have adult only events ever?
I don't know about that. Corey, do you know about that? Is there
Probably. There's no way.
I don't think there is.
Adults only.
Like an after hours event. I thought there used to be one back in the day.
There's Pleasure Island.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But nothing like in the parks.
Okay.
They'd probably just absolutely rake in cash. People are like, yeah, I don't want the kids with strollers. Make it adult only for a night.
Yeah, it's something to think about, right?
Epcot or Hollywood, I think, would do really well with those. Kind of like what you have with Jollywood. It's kind of geared towards,
Don't we
adults.
feel like less kids were at Jollywood? Don't we feel like that was the case?
Yeah.
So it would be nice.
Jen W is asking, was the news today about both water parks being open real? As far as we know, it is, because it was posted by Disney themselves, and they did not say, April Fools. Their social media is not like that anyway. It should be, I think, but whatever. So yeah, as far as we know, for the summer, the both water parks are open, and that does make sense because the last couple weeks, the park has been filling up with where you can only get in if you're a resort guest. So that just doesn't work if you're an annual pass holder and you bought the pass add-on for the parks and you can't go. So I think that was why they changed that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Mousetrap News definitely. You capitalize on the people that are that don't do the research. Like if there's a shocking thing that I read, I always go to other sources. Like today, I flipped on Instagram at one point, like I do throughout the day, and it said "Rest in peace, Dennis Rodman." And at first, I was like, "Oh, no way!" And they had the date, birth date, death date, a description of what happened, and I was like, before I really react, because I was about to send that to my brother, I was like, let me go to ESPN, let me hit a couple things, let me see, and I found it nowhere. So then I found that it was just an April Fool's story. So it's good to get that quick reaction, and how much for the percentage of the people that view it believe it and share it. It's a good amount because you guys are successful. So congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you. It's really it's about creating things that people are going to react to, and those are the ones that do the best, whether they're controversial or funny or elicits some sort of emotion. Like that's really what you got to do to get people's interest and get them laughing or sharing or being like, no way, and capturing their attention. And you got 3 seconds to do it on social media, so you got to hit them hard out of the gate and get them with something that they're going to bite on, believe, or even if they don't believe it, be funny that they want to share it with their friends and be like, huh, can't believe they're putting a Hooters at Disney. That's sweet. We should go. Stuff like that.
And if you take nothing else out of this conversation tonight, please remember that Mousetrap News started because God told him to. That's what I heard. He said it happened in church. That's what I got from.
He spoke to him.
Honestly, did almost feel like, a message. Obviously you shouldn't be paying attention in church, but that was just, he was speaking to me at that time, like, Disney satire website, and it's turned into an incredible journey from, first post getting nothing to now getting millions of views a month and hundreds of thousands of followers, something that we would have never imagined. It was just like I said, it just started on a whim, like, this would be kind of funny. And to be going on almost 3 years of doing this every day, and, the amount of people that we've just, has seen one of our articles is just like crazy to think about, whether it's on social media or on Jimmy Fallon or SNL, or just like you can't even fathom the reach that we've had with all of our videos over the past few years. And it's just crazy to think about. It's really cool, and really, an honor that we get to do this every day and make up these stories. People are probably like, I hate you guys. You guys are the worst. You keep putting out all this fake news, but it's really cool for us to be able to do that and have such an impact, whether it makes people laugh or they look forward to the next article that they can share with their friends, or whatever, because we have a ton of people who get excited to see our articles every day and see what we come up with and are ready to share. So it's a pretty wild thing, something we never would have imagined would be a reality, but here we are, like I said, almost 3 years later, doing the same thing and enjoying every moment.
That's awesome.
How many people are on your team, and what's the process? Do y'all try to get stories? Are you constantly thinking about stories, and then whoever comes to the table first, you might put that one out? How does that all work? How does it go from thought to actually posting something and putting it all together?
Yeah, it's a pretty small team, and it's just about like thinking, what is going to be like, what do we think is going to be an impactful story, and we've got a list of probably at least 100 ideas that we haven't done anything with and might never do anything with. But it's like, I don't know, you just kind of jot them down when you have them, and then you look at the list and you're like, all right, what do we think is going to do well? And some days you might be feeling one article, or you might be feeling another, like, oh, this is really relevant, now let's do this. Or something will just hit you like, I don't know, it's can't really pinpoint where the stories come from. It's just they just kind of pop into your head throughout the day. It's not like you just sit and brainstorm, for forever. Sometimes that happens, or you'll use like ChatGPT to be inspired by stuff. But a lot of it is just kind of, it comes to you and you're like, oh, look, we could write about this. And then it's like, yeah, that could do well. So then write the article, do the voiceover, pull some clips together and post it later that day. I mean, the whole process of writing a story, from idea to posting, maybe takes an hour or two of our time, just because it takes 30 minutes to write it, 15 minutes to record it, 15 minutes to put some clips behind it and edit it, and then post it. And, so it's not like a huge, insane process, and it's pretty loose. It's just kind of like what's speaking to us that day, and making that article happen. And if, nothing's really speaking to us, go back to the list and see, hey, what are some other ideas that we've thought of that we haven't done anything with? Could this work? Maybe it's more relevant. Maybe it's not. And sometimes it's just like, there's not really much to say today, so we'll try again tomorrow. And it's a very loose process. It's just kind of free-flowing, whatever makes the most sense. You just kind of do it, and articles will do well, articles will flop, and the nature of the game is just putting something out the next day and hoping for success.
Yeah, that's kind of what we got going on here at the DIZPod too. We have a list to fall back on with tons of ideas. And the way Lawrence and I look at that is we try to leave that alone and plan week after week of content without looking at that stuff, because it's kind of what you can kind of save. Like if we're really stumped on what to do on a certain date, hey, let's pull the list out and let's see if there's something there that, we can pull. So there's not that fear of, oh my gosh, we have nothing. We can't think of anything for, August 1st or something like that. So it's nice to have, I always think it's nice when you don't have to use your backup content.
Yeah. And it's, the funny part about the list is usually we'll go through it and we'll be like, nah, not really. I don't really feel like that. And then you're like looking at all these ideas on the list, and it's like every time I go back to the list, I'm like, no, I'll pass on that one again today, and I just keep passing on the same idea. So it's like, I don't know, maybe is there merit to it? And then sometimes I'll pull them off, and I'll be like, all right, I'll try this one. I've been pushing it off for weeks, and then it'll flop, and I'll be like, that's why I didn't do this one. I remember now. I should have just deleted it. But you also don't know. I mean, there'll be ones where I'm like, this is going to be a smash hit. It's going to do really well because, like, yesterday we did the man was banned from Disney because his wiener was too big, which is just like an insanely stupid hook. But like, it just seems like it would get people talking and laughing and commenting like, "Oh, sorry, that was me, guys." And you know, it did okay, but it was one of those ones that were like, it just seems like it's got that hook. Like when we did, a man was arrested for farting inside Disney. It did very well. So we're like, okay, what's like the next step to that? Well, man can't go in because he's got too big of a wiener. It's absurd. And so we thought it'd do well. It didn't necessarily do as well as we wanted to, but you just don't know until you put it out there. Like, you can think an article is going to do really well and it flops, and you can think, this probably won't do much, and then it blows up. And so that's just kind of the nature of the game. You can do stuff to try and increase your odds, but in the end, it's up to the algorithm, and sometimes there's a little bit of luck and a little bit of randomness to it.
That's very true.
Hopefully I can say that on air, by the way. I don't know if that's...
Oh, you're good.
You're good.
You're good.
Yeah, we have that same theory about the algorithm. Sometimes it's just the algorithm.
Yeah, and well, it feels like as of recently, like maybe this is what we struggle with sometimes. Like, are articles just not that good? Like, are we missing something on the hook? Like, is something off? Because it just doesn't seem like they're performing as well as they did a couple months ago, and even like a year or two ago. Like, and sometimes it'll ebb and flow. Like we'll have times where we're just killing it, like video after video does really well, and then we'll have times where it's like, you're just missing the mark, and we're like, is this algorithm or is this us? Because a lot of our articles are there's similarities across them. We'll look at what does well, what's popular, and kind of write more articles kind of in that same vein to try and do well, and then they won't pick up, and we're like, I don't know, is it algorithm? Are people just not interested in this anymore? And you just never know. But it can be frustrating because you're like, I really thought that was going to kill it, and then it just didn't do anything, and you're like, all right, great. Well, guess we'll try again tomorrow and see what we can do. So, it's frustrating, but it's fun. That's what it's like being an entrepreneur. It's trying a million things and seeing what works, and not everything's going to succeed. And it's exciting. It can be frustrating, but every time you post, it's exciting because it's like, all right, how's this one going to do today? Well, let's see. Let's get this one. This one's going to do well. And flops, it's like, shoot. But then pick yourself up and you do it again.
That's right.
Yeah, you never know. That's one place where I'm weekend is putting up shorts because I'm just so busy doing so many other things. I have really no time to really dedicate to shorts, and we've thrown up some here and there, and some you think like, oh, this could really do something. Like we had a moment where let's see, I'll choose. We were on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and it stopped at a point in the mine where we got to hear Sneezy go through this whole routine of almost sneezing, which was really, really funny. And I'm like, oh, this could really blow up. And, you post that. But the one that's, I think, what done the best by far, Lawrence, is I'm just standing, we start a live stream on Main Street. We're in the Emporium. We're showing merchandise, and it's downpouring on Main Street. So I go over to show the live stream what Main Street looks like from the window, and I'm like, you know what? Give me my phone. Give me my other phone. I'm just going to do a short on this. The cast member was out there with a bunch of balloons, and the balloons were just flailing all over the place in the rain, and he was having a hard time controlling them, and I posted that, and it did thousands and thousands and thousands of views. I was like, man, you never know. You just never know. And it's all those factors.
I mean, think about that viral video on X that was going around with the morning routine that everyone's mocking now. Like, I didn't even watch the original, but it was like this guy who gets up at like 3:30 in the morning and throws like water in his face, and then he goes through his whole morning routine over the next 6 hours. Like, I only heard about it. I didn't watch it. But then I've seen a ton of people making like parodies of this video of like their morning routine. And it was just like, from what I heard, the original video was just like the dumbest thing. And it got like hundreds of millions of views on X. And it's just like, how does something like this go viral? And then, you try every single method to go viral based on past success, and then you get like nothing. And you're like, I don't know. It's just, it goes back to, it's just sometimes a lot of luck is involved. So.
That's right. That's what I say every Wednesday, Saturday, and Tuesday, right, Corey? Let's hope for some luck.
Let's hope for it. Here's a little behind the scenes tip for anyone listening. And I think I lay this understanding out well. And I think that I was aware of it, but since Lawrence has teamed up with the family and I've gotten more technical and more interested in understanding the technical side of things on the YouTube side anyway. And when you talk about impressions, it's like impressions is really, it's everything for a live streamer and for videos, because it's like this. They can choose to take me tomorrow night at Magic Kingdom or streamer B, and they're going to put me on a high school stage and the other streamer in front of the Coliseum. And that's it. We're both out there. We're doing our thing. Maybe my show's better. Maybe theirs isn't as great. But YouTube decided to put them in the Coliseum tonight, and me, playing at the high school auditorium. And what I mean by that is when impressions go out to all of you, YouTube will only send so many. So some nights, if it's a real slow night, I'll say to Lawrence, what happened? Oh, you only got, what would I say, 10,000 impressions or something? Mm-hmm. And then streamer B got 50,000. So that's 50,000 invitations, 50,000 people that put YouTube on. That channel's right there in their face. We only got a chance at 10,000 people to get to see and know that we're out there. So you never know. A lot of it is in the hands of YouTube.
Yeah.
So you're behind the eight ball to begin with. You never know what your impressions are going to be, right? Until you end.
Yeah, because you get a certain amount before the live stream, and then once the live stream is live, then it's pushing it out to a certain number of people, and so by the time that it ends, you can add up the two and say, okay, this was your total impressions, and obviously the streams that have done the best. I mean, the impressions are through the roof. 100,000. I've seen some. I think I've seen as many as 138,000. So, like Corey said, that's 138,000 invitations.
Yeah, and then some nights we're like, "What happened tonight? We killed it," and you're like, "Well, look at how many impressions you got." So you play in the same show. It just depends on what audience you're being put in front of.
Yep. Mom said, "Do you have a link for streamer V?"
Yeah, it's called Corey Cam. It's the private one that everybody tries to get on. I don't understand that. I go live. So just for Mousetrap, just to know. So Lawrence, we have a system that no one is using in any Disney park around the world. And Lawrence sits in his studio and he produces my live stream. It's fun for him and me. It gets to bring it allows us to bring more content and more fun graphics to people and contests and things like that. What was the point I was going to make now? I just lost it. What did you say to make me say that?
People will come in and watch Corey Cam.
Yes. So I have to do a separate stream, a private feed that goes to Lawrence, and then he puts out the public one with a public title. Mine just says Corey Cam. All of a sudden, people just start coming in. I don't even know where they come from. And I have to say, hey, because the problem is when I go live on it, it makes it live. It's set to private, but it flips it to live. I mean, to public. So Lawrence has to go in and switch it back to private. So sometimes it takes them 3 or 4 minutes to do it. And I see these numbers starting to pile up and I'm like, welcome everyone, but please go to the properly titled stream. This one is going private.
Yeah. Gotta love it. People just want to see something.
Corey Cam.
What's that?
It could be a whole new venture, just the Corey Cam. I mean, if people are coming and watching, you might as well go with it.
That's not a bad idea. That could be the raw footage. They can kind of see before we actually go live.
But you do take a streamer break every now and then, so we have to be careful.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I did do that once. I did take a streamer break in the restroom, and I didn't have any of the tech to do anything besides I just put the camera up against the wall and muted so people could look at Disney tiles. That became a whole thing for a while. Oh, I got to go again. Let's see what kind of tiles we see today in the Pinocchio restroom. That kind of thing.
interest in streaming the stream.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said no interest in streaming the stream.
Right. Yes.
The
stream behind the stream.
Jen, just so you're aware, when Corey hits live, it's going to put it out because it changes it to public. And so then him or I have to go in and change it to private. So that's why by the time you click on it, it says private, but it always starts out as public, unfortunately. So, Mousetrap, any final words from you?
Well, we'd be disappointed in ourselves if we didn't shout out our published book on Amazon. Maybe we do that.
Absolutely.
All right. So, if you guys are on Amazon, we've got The Ultimate Guide to an Affordable Disney Trip. This is real. You can look it up. You can get Amazon Prime shipping, and the tagline is saving you time, money, and a lot of tears. And it is a gag gift. So if you open it, all the pages are blank. All 199 pages are blank because there is no such thing as an affordable Disney trip. So that is on Amazon in case you guys want a gag gift. Actually, it's funny. We have a 1-star review where they bought 2 books and they're like, all the pages are blank. And I'm like, yeah, we said in the description that all the pages were blank. So they're joking over their head, but they got 2 books. So I guess
that's funny.
But, yeah, we thought we've always wanted to do like merch or like create a Disney guide, and we're like, well, if we create a guide, people aren't going to necessarily believe it, and there's already a million Disney guides out there. So we're like, well, what if we create a guide that's not actually a guide? It's just making fun of Disney and the cost of that trip. So that's how that book came to be. Like I said, it is on Prime, and we thought it'd be funny to do, and well, it exists, and many people have bought the book since we put it out there. So we're like, what a wonderful idea. So other than that, we appreciate you guys having us on. It's been a lot of fun, and really enjoyed the conversation, and nothing else on our end unless there's any other questions. But we are
I'm glad. I'm glad you mentioned the book because I was going to earlier. So I'm glad you mentioned it because it does make me laugh to see that book. I may have to get that one. Just saying. But yeah, if you ever want to come back on, just let us know. You're more than welcome. We can talk actual Disney, or we can talk satire. Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, happy to. Always love chatting Disney, whether it's real or fake. It's one of our passions, even though we make fun of it every day. So certainly happy to come back if you ever want us back, as long as we didn't do anything to get kicked off. That's usually a good sign. Didn't say anything too wild.
No, not at all. Not at all. No, we appreciate you being here for sure. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So that is our guest. Go ahead, Corey.
I was going to say thank you so much. We appreciate it for sure. It was fun.
Yeah, thank you.
So that's our guest, Mousetrap News. Make sure to follow them on TikTok and Instagram. And like I said earlier, make sure that you follow them so that when somebody comes up to you and says, Did you hear that they're charging an arm and a leg? Be like, yeah, I know where you got that. So thanks so much. All right. Very cool.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun.
Good find.
Yeah, that was fun. So what are we doing in the parks this week?
I am at Magic Kingdom tomorrow night. So we'll just do the park. Nothing special going on there. We'll just have some fun. I don't think there's anything new from the last time we were there for desserts, but not sure. May head for the salmon again at Harbor House. That was really good.
All right.
Not sure if Shirley's joining me yet, but I think she might be. So we may see Shirley tomorrow night, and we'll run around and have fun with everyone. We'll do Happily Ever After. We'll decide if it'll be on Main Street or from behind. I'm feeling like maybe from behind, so we might gain the edge in 1 or 2 extra rides, which would be fun. And Saturdays, we have some special guests. Shirley will be with us, which she's not a special guest anymore. She's just kind of she's the director of the streams live, and you're the producer in the studio. Shirley is on it, man. I don't have she made me lazy. I don't have to research the park, don't have to worry about what's happening, where to go, what new merch dropped, because I just go, what do we got? And she runs it all down. It's amazing. So, but we were using her for DVC, but we found out she doesn't have DVC, so we're still just gonna be her friend anyway. It's whatever.
It's whatever. You'll deal with
whatever. Yeah, we're just gonna roll with it. No, but that's an inside joke. Those who are in on that will laugh at that. Yeah. So anyway, besides that, Saturdays, Ann Gilnap will be with us. Grandma Grover will be with us. Shirley will be with us. It'll be Tammy and me. We will be kidless. Now, the caveat to that is we're going to 50s prime time again for Tammy's birthday dinner. And I feel a little guilty about it because it is Jacob's favorite. And we're doing it because, Jacob's not there. We'll go do that. We'll go do that. It's cheaper. But I told him, I said, hey, bud, we'll get you a 50s prime time coming up. And he's like, I'm going for my birthday, Dad. It's fine. In June. So that'll be Jacob's. So we're doing that. We'll have fun at Hollywood Studios. We'll end with a fantastic Phantasmic and shopping, I'm sure. So that's going to be a lot of fun, too. Tons of fun. Can't wait for Saturday as well. That's what we got going on there.
Leah is not working Saturday, but she's going to message me on who you should ask for. So I'll let you know on that one.
That's good. That's good because, we're doing this for us, but we're doing it for all of you. And if we get a dud, we had a dud last time. We need somebody who's real fun and real interactive. We want the best of the best if we can get it, because we love to play it up for all of you and really show you what 50s primetime is all about.
Yeah, so she'll let me know. I'll let you know who to ask for. I'm looking at the schedule for tomorrow night. Happily Ever After is at 9. The park closes at 10, but it is extended hours till midnight.
Okay, so Magic is kicking us out at 10?
Of the rides, yes.
That's good, though. It is good for that one. I don't like that for Saturday, but for me, where I have to get up and work the next day, it is good that they have to force me out, because if they were open till 11, I would stay.
Yeah.
So it's good to do a quicker stream in that sense. So, but we'll start 6:30, 6:45 p.m. Eastern time. I always communicate with Lawrence where I'm at on the road, and we try to time it pretty well so that we can go live as soon as I get there. Just about. Make Tammy have the carrots with Cool Whip. I'll ask for that. I'm not lying. People think I'm lying. That was good. Whipped cream and carrots is where it's at. That's a thing. It's a thing for me anyway. I forgot. Sharon Hecker said something in chat earlier that was funny, and I wanted to mention it, but I will just I'll shout her out. It was funny, Sharon, but I can't remember what she said. Also, I've got I mentioned to Lawrence one thing that we should probably touch on at the beginning of every month is a couple of features over at Disney Springs. I don't know how we've missed this to this point anyway, because we make sure that we do these, whether it's on stream or off stream. So I had a thought tonight during the DIZPod where I can't guarantee a vlog for this every time, because the time we go to Disney Springs for like Gideon's Cookie of the Month, they could be sold out, but I figured at least we could talk about it here. And if we happen to get our hands on the Cookie of the Month, and you can always try the flavors of the month over at Salt and Straw, maybe that's where we do a quick little Instagram or short on the channel, where these are the cookies in the flavors of the month, because we always try to get those. And I have to say, I just feel like Gideon's has its staples of cookies, but they really knock it out of the park lately with these cookies of the month. I feel like they're the best cookies. So This one sounds really interesting. And I have, what do I have? Like 4 of them being delivered to me tomorrow via Shirley. So I'm looking forward to them. And it is, I got to get it right. Let me see. Took a photo of it. It is the carrot cake cookie. Say hello to our carrot cake cookie. This delightful baby is a delicious blend of flavorful and comforting spices, rich molasses, and finely incorporated carrots with a hint of tart. Completely covered with our crunchy house-made candied pecans and a drizzle of our handsome carrot cream cheese glaze. So much flavor in an ultra soft and buttery cookie, complemented by a crunchy exterior. It looks amazed is. I'm going to show it to you from my phone anyway. Look at that. So, it looks really inviting. So I think I ordered about 4 of those. And we'll put them in the freezer and we'll just nip away. So we got that. And Salt and Straw, did you check out the website? Because to me, it looks like they didn't change their flavors yet. And it is the first.
Mm-hmm.
So
Maybe
all
update.
I can talk about, maybe they're late on updating, which is weird. But they did cereals last month, cereal flavors, and they were good. Of course, we tried them all. They had one that represented Frosted Lucky Charms, had marshmallows and cereal steeped ice cream. They had Snap and Crackle marshmallow treat, which is like a Rice Krispie marshmallow. Florentines crushed and scattered throughout the salted vanilla ice cream. They had peanut butter brownie cereal puffs. I had a scoop of that. That was good. Double baked peanut butter glazed brownies tossed into peanut butter marbled milk chocolate ice cream. They had cornflake cookies with Marionberry jam. That kind of speaks for itself. And they had Captain's Buried Treasure. So this one was like Captain Crunch with the crunch berries, but you didn't scratch the roof of your mouth. I combined that one with the chocolate one. It was really good. So we'll see if that updates for the next DIZPod, but we'll check those out. And if we get our mouths on one or both of those monthly, we'll try to make a short for it so you all can see it. Because if we're not live for it, because we're not always live at Disney Springs when we head over there lately. So good, nice little new feature to touch on.
Yeah, I'm good with
Shirley
that.
predicts it'll be gone by the end of the week. She thinks it's that good. Shirley, have you tried it yet? She did pick up some today. I want to know if Shirley's tried it in chat yet. Jen W says, I swear Gideon's should do all mobile orders. So who does cookies better in the sense of inventory, Lawrence? When you go to Gideon's at 11 o'clock at night, you can pretty much get any cookie you want. But you go to Summer House, and you're lucky if there's 2 or 3 different flavors left.
Yeah.
And maybe there's 1 or 2 cookies of that one. So are they figuring it out better so that they don't make too many? Like, what's going on there?
That's a theory. Me looking at it from a business standpoint, I would say you got to make more. For example, okay, do you guys know that Dunkin' Donuts doesn't make their donuts in the restaurant? They're all shipped in. That used to not be the case. Used to be the guy, I can't remember his name now. It's time to make the donuts. Do you remember that commercial? Right.
Oh, yes, the little guy with the mustache.
Yeah. So that's not a thing anymore. They now get them trucked in. So when I go to a Dunkin' Donuts, if you go late in the afternoon, forget it. They don't have anything. Like, to me, that's a problem. You know, when I managed a grocery store, you had a book, essentially, of, okay, the artisan bread, you need to have 6 on the shelf because you sell 4 a day. You know, that type of thing. I don't know about the restaurants that do it the other way, like you said, like Summer House running out. In my mind, you don't run out.
Right. So that makes me want to do this. Next time I'm there and I'm in both of those places, I'm going to ask them how they determine their inventory for the day. Because, I'll say to Summer House, Gideon's always has everything. Like, what do you guys do? Is your goal to sell everything made and it's okay that you've run out over the with an hour to go? And who's even worse, very disappointing, is Everglades. If you go there even 9:30, 10 o'clock, we'll say, when Disney Springs closes at 11:30, there's so many flavors that are gone that you cannot get, and they sell out fast. So it's interesting. I understand you don't want to lose inventory, and hey, when Summer House opened, we kind of made fun of Gideon's, but now I've come back down to earth, and both cookies are great. They're two different cookies. It's apples, oranges. So I don't think you can compare them that much. I do love both.
Just so you know, dough is not that expensive.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's not. That's just an excuse that they're using. I think that you need to prepare. I know you don't want to have any left over. I get it, but I think you need to prepare better. You know what your traffic is like.
You do. You should really know by now, right? How many of everything that you need, even for down to the certain days, right? Okay, on Wednesdays, we need X amount of, this cookie. Saturdays, though, we need to double up on that one.
Yep.
So they could do better. They could definitely do better. So
agreed.
I always thought that was interesting.
So next week on the show, we have Adventures by Carney joining us. Pete Carney's going to be joining us. Another live streamer. Actually, Corey's met him out in the parks. Actually, I don't even think it was in the parks. I think it was...
I remember running it. It might have been more than once. The one time I remember was actually at the American Gardens Pavilion.
Okay, so then I'm thinking of a different time, because I think you were outside of the park, if I remember correctly. And then the following week, we're going to talk about the Disney College program with Zach Heiness when he co-hosts the NC Disneyana. And so I met him there. And so we're going to talk a little bit about the Disney College program and his love for Disney. And then the following week is going to be all about Animal Kingdom, because it's Animal Kingdom's birthday.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So that's what we got lined up. It's going to be a fun week as we get closer to 100. That's a big show.
9 more to go. 9 more to go, everybody. You don't want to miss that. All right. Let's talk about our sponsor quick. And you can see our sponsor just about every Sunday as we simulcast his live stream from different neighborhoods around Disney. It's Victor Naraki. Check him out on his channel. Make sure you subscribe there, and you can watch there, or you can watch on our channel. You probably should watch on his, but we like to share it with all of you because it reaches out to more people. So that makes him happy if you subscribe. I could hear the joy in his voice the other day when he had like 30, 35, 40. I was so happy for him.
Yeah.
So any way we can help with that, for sure. Are you guys going to D23 in August? No. We are not. Is that the D20? Is that coming here? Is that the one? Is that something happening here? That's probably sold out by now. Is that sold out by now?
I'll have to look into it. It wasn't.
Oh, okay.
I'll see.
But if you're looking for a home that offers the perfect blend of luxury, comfort, and convenience with Disney World in your backyard, Victor Naraki is a licensed realtor with Vision Home Real Estate, LLC. And he is here to help you find the home of your dreams. With over 15 years of experience in the Disney area home market and a proven track record of success, Victor is the perfect partner to guide you through every step of the home buying process. So what are you waiting for? Visit celebratingflorida.com today to learn more about Victor's exclusive range of properties and schedule a viewing with Victor. Your dream home is just a click away. And if the Red Sox can win a game sometime, I'll be happy. Figured I'd throw that in there. The Mets must have more wins than the Red Sox right now. We have 1.
We have 2. No,
okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we're 2-2.
Okay. Yeah. It's a slow start, but it's okay. The big bats aren't hitting. It's not going to happen forever. So,
big bats. So you need a torpedo bat. Need to get into that.
Yeah,
market.
we need the Yankees torpedo bats. That's what we need.
Yep.
Yes. I saw you message Mr. Fulton Mraz. Thank you so much. We're doing a live show here, so we don't comment back on too much, but we see everything. I saw what Steve said a moment ago. We love Steve. He says that makes Dunkin' Donuts only at the larger stores and shipped to the smaller ones.
They actually have
court.
Essentially kitchens. Or I don't want to call them warehouses, but they have kitchens. There's one that's going to be opening from not too far from me, about 25 minutes from me. So when I saw that, I had to look into it and find out what that was. So there you go. All right.
There you go. All right.
So we will see you all tomorrow night from the Magic Kingdom. I'll be doing the pre-show. Corey will be out there live in the parks, and then we'll do the post-show. I haven't decided what the post-show is yet, but we'll have a good one.
Sounds great. Until then, thank you, everyone who listen at any time on your convenience on iHeartRadio, Prime, Amazon Prime, as well as Spotify. And all of you that join us. We do this live because we do it for you, and we love you all. We really do. And can't wait to hang out with you all in the parks tomorrow night from Magic Kingdom. Throw those hearts up, everybody. For now, we are just a couple of bros talking Disney.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
DIZPod, where the magic's here to stay.